Hello, this is Lucas, and in this video I'm going to go over 2D and 3D transformations in CSS. So I have a div created here, and I've added just a bit of basic CSS, like just text align, background color, height, and width. And this is how it looks like at the moment, right? Don't mind what this says, but cough cough. Right, and now we're going to be using, we're going to start off with 2D transformations, going into 3D transformations. So we can start off with 2D, which the first one would be translate. So in order to create a transformation, we do a transform. And now in here we specify what we want to transform, in what way we want to transform it. So the first one we'll do is translate. Translate is a basic one really. All it does is it just moves the element in a certain direction. So if we do, for example, 50 pixels, and if we do 100 pixels, for example, if you can go back here, so it's right here in this position, we click this and it will move to that position. So the way it works is this very first value moves the element to the right, and then this element moves the element down or to the bottom. We can do minus. I'm not gonna do let's do 0 for now, just so I can show you. So let's just bring it back to the same direction. And now if I do minus, for example, so we do -5, and if you refresh this, you can see if you do minus, it just moves to the left direction. So if it's a positive number, if the very first number is positive, it'll move it to the right. If it's negative, it'll move it to the left. The second number, if it's positive, it'll move it down. And if it's negative, it will move it up. Okay, so simple as that. That is the very first one, translate. Next one is going to be rotate. So we're going to remove this translate and we're going to add in rotate. Not rotate X, just normal rotate. And I think this one is pretty straightforward. It will rotate our div. So let's say we do 20 and we have to pass in DEG for degrees. Now if we go back, you can see now our element has been rotated. Okay, so it rotates, this one rotates to the right. Okay, so clockwise. Now let's say if you want to do counterclockwise, we'll just do minus. So this was going to rotate anti-clockwise, counterclockwise. We refresh and just like this, it has done it. So let's just reset this. So this is how it looks like at the moment. Next one I'm going to be going over is scaling. So we go out here. We do the same thing. We do transform. Then we do scale. And now we can pass in two different values. The very first value is the width. Do we want to scale the width a bit? And then the second one is the height. Do we want to scale the height? So for example, let's say we want to double our width, we'll do 2. And then if we want to, let's say, triple our height, we'll do 3. So that's the way these numbers work. So if we go into here, refresh this, our element increases in size by 2 to the sides, like width, and then it will increase by 3 to by the height. The thing is, we need to this will stay where the element is created, okay, and it's just gonna transform from there. It's not actually gonna move the element, okay. So that's why you can see the element here goes out of screen, okay. So that's scale. We can also obviously we can go down in scale. So if I do 0 and 0, okay, so this is how it is normally. 0 0. Let's not do that. Let's see how it looks like normally. Okay, so it looks like this normally. We can scale it down. So what we can do is 0 basically just makes it invisible, as in it's nothing. It's not even there. So we can do 0.5 and 0.5. What that's going to do is it's going to scale it down 0.5, or in other ways it's going to just half it. So it's right here, we click this and it just halves the image from the height and from the width. We can also target just one value. So let's say we do scale X. This is just going to scale the X value, so we can increase the height. We can increase the width by 2. So it's going to double our width. Do the exact same thing with height, and obviously we can do minus as well. You know, we can decrease the width and the height by -2, which is, it just flips it. I meant to do 0.2, 0.5 actually. So it halves it. Let's do 0.5. And this will just, it will decrease the height by half. Okay? And then, yeah, we can do the same thing with Y and X. Next one is Skew. And I don't know how to explain this one, but I can demonstrate. It'll be easier to demonstrate. So let's just remove this value for now. And let's refresh. So this is how it looks like at the moment. So let's do transform. And we're going to do Skew. And I think we're just going to do Skew X for now. Okay, if we do 20, we need to add the degrees in here as well. And if you go into here, you can see when we refresh this, this is the way it skews. So it skews, this is only skewing, you can see we're only skewing the x-axis. Okay, so the x-axis gets skewed, as in this box is going to get moved this way. Okay, you can obviously do the exact same thing with y. Refresh this. Now the y-axis gets skewed, you can see, right? So that's skew. We can add both of them together, so we can just remove the y and the x, and we can have two values in here. The very first value is the x-axis, so we're going to skew it by 20 degrees. And then we're going to skew the y-axis by, let's say, 15 degrees. You can refresh this. Boom. And just like that, we'll create like a diamond shape by skewing the values. Let's say we only want to skew it on the x-axis. We don't actually have to do skew x. What we can do is we can just leave one value in here. By just having one value declared here, this is going to skew by the x-axis. So we don't actually have to do skew x. We can just do skew. And then the last one for 2D transforms, we're going to go over to 3D transforms now in a minute. But the very last value for 2D transforms is the matrix. And what the matrix does is it basically adds everything into one, into just one line. So instead of having transform scale, transform skew, and transform translate, we can all have it under one matrix. Okay, so the first two values are are scale x, and so let's do scale x. Let's say we just want to scale it by, let's keep it at 1. Let's just keep it at 1. We don't want to make it too big. Then our second value here is going to be skew y. Sorry, I just hit my microphone. The second value is skew y. So let's say we want to skew it by 0.3. Let's do 0.2. Alright, we don't want to make it too odd. Our third value is going to be skew x. Okay, so this one is skew y. Okay, well, once again, this one is scale x. It's done in a very weird way. I don't know why they do it this way, right? But the first value is scale. The next two values are skew. So this is skew y, and now this is going to be skew x. Let's just do 1.1. Okay, as our skew x, and then we go back to scale. So this one is scale x, but now our fourth value is scale y. Don't ask me why they do it like this. I don't know myself. But let's keep the this is the x. Let's keep the scale of the x the same, and let's keep the scale of the y the same. We don't want to mess it around too much. And then the very last two are translate x and translate y. So let's just do translate. Let's do 1.5, and let's do 2. Sure, I don't know how this is going to look like, but let's just test this out. And then this is the amazing monstrosity that we come up with, right? So yeah, just remember, it's done in a very weird way. The first value is scale x. Then this is skew y, skew x. This is scale y, translate x, and then the last one is translate y. Okay, done in a very weird way. I don't know why they do it like this. Yeah, I don't know. But that's it for the 2D transform. So let's just go back. So we are left here. Now we're going to be transforming in a 3D way. Okay, so let's say we go back into here. Let's do transform. And now we can actually rotate it. We can rotate it in, you might guess it, 3 ways, because it's 3D. Right, you've seen in the last few examples we only used 2 values for the width and the height, but with 3D we also have the Z axis because it's a 3D shape. So let's do rotate. See, you can see straight away there's 3 values, X, Y, and Z. So let's say we want to rotate XY and we want to do 150 degrees. Okay, let's go back into here and refresh this. So it rotates XY 150 degrees. Simple as that. Let's do Y. Let's see how Y. I think Y is just going to be sideways, isn't it? Yeah, so it goes sideways. And then let's do one more. Let's do Z. Ooh, Z. I don't know. Okay. And Z, it does it the other way, right? This Z on the Z axis. Okay. So then the next one that we can go over will probably be, we can do rotate and translate. Okay, so let's say we rotate this way, and then let's just do let's do transform, and let's do rotate. Why are we going to do rotate? No, we're going to be doing let's do a matrix again, right? Let's do matrix. Let's add in a few values. Let's do 1. Let's add in 0.3, 0.3, 1.1 scale. I want to keep the same, and then let's just do 2 and 2. Let's add 2D, and then let's also add 3D into one CSS. Let's see what that looks like. We get actually we need to add this into here. Refresh this and we get this. So we can use 3D and 2D at the same time. So yeah, that's basically it for this video. Hope this video helped. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.